Google Forms is a tool used for acquiring and assessing information from multiple people. This can include things like surveys, sign-up sheets for events, and even quizzes for classes. As a faculty member, you may find Google Forms as a simple, easy-to-use way to survey respondents, quiz students, or just help in planning events. As with all Google applications, you need a Google account in order to use Google Forms. To set up an account is free, and it also enables you to use other Google Drive apps such as Docs, Spreadsheets, or Google services such as Gmail and YouTube. In this first video, I'll demonstrate how to build a basic sign-up sheet for 2 related events, showing just some of the features in this easy-to-use app. In the second video, I'll show how to use the resulting form and view the data it collects from users. To create a Google form within Google Drive, I click the Create button and select Form from the drop-down menu. I start by choosing a theme which governs how the form will appear to users. I can always change this later if I change my mind. I'll add a title and a description which serves as a subtitle for the entire form. By default, Google has given me a multiple choice question to start with, so that's what I'll use. I'll enter the data for the first question. I click Done, and the question is ready to go. Google Forms has several different question types for surveys, questionnaires, and quizzes. To add another question, I simply click Add Item. For a bigger menu, including questions and other items that I can add to my form, I select the down arrow next to Add Item. If I've changed my mind and I want to remove something that I had added, I simply click the garbage pail to the right of the item. I want this form to present users different things based on how they answer the first question. That is, whether or not they'll attend the meeting or the party. So I'll add 2 additional pages to the form that I'll populate with questions later. For now, this allows me to tell this form where to go if the user chooses either of the first 2 answers to this first question. To add pages, I select Page Break. This is an option under the Add Items menu. For the second page, I'll tell the form to submit or end after that page because the third page won't be relevant for users who answered questions on this second page. And then I'll label these pages appropriately. Then, I click my initial question to edit it. I click Go to Page based on Answer. Then, from the drop-down menus that have appeared next to the various answer options, I select the appropriate action. The third answer, that the user will not attend either the meeting or the party, simply leads to the end of the survey if I click Submit Form. I'll click the box to make this a required question since it governs how the rest of the form will proceed. On the page for those who will attend the party, I have an additional question: who's bringing what? I'll click Add Item and choose a checkbox question because this allows attendees to choose more than one option. I then begin building out the question. With everything entered, I click Done. To make things more visually interesting, I'll add a picture of the grill chef. To do this, I click the down arrow next to Add Item and click Image. Then, from my hard drive, I'll drag in the appropriate picture and, of course, provide a title and hover text, or a small block of text that will appear when the user hovers the mouse cursor over the picture. On the third page, for those who reported they would attend the meeting but not the party, I will ask a question whether they will attend in person or whether they'll attend via a web conferencing application. On the first page of the form, I need to add a few essentials. I should add a basic paragraph explaining the whole event. I'll replace the subtitle with this by clicking on the subtitle to edit it. I can use simple text questions to get the attendees' names. I can also add a question to get their email address. For email, I can specify that the answer must be in the format of an email address. I click Advanced Settings, click the Data Validation box, choose Text, and then choose Email Address from the two drop-down boxes below Data Validation. I'll even provide a hint to that in the Help Text subtitle. I'll make this a required question, so that even if they miss the name box, I'll at least have a way to contact them. Lastly, I'll scroll to the bottom for a few additional options. I really only want one form per user, so I'll deselect the Show Link to submit another response, but I will select Publish and show a link to the results of this form to all respondents, so respondents themselves can see what people have submitted before them. Also, I will allow responders to edit their response even after their initial submission, and I'll add a custom confirmation page message that users will see after they submit their form. Lastly, to test out my Google form, I go up to the top and click View Live Form. Because I specified so in my form, depending on what answer I enter to this question, the form gives me a different second question, or provides me just with a page to submit my form.